you get older on this team. So I think that's, for me, it's just about showing up every day, working hard, doing my job. I've always been more of the lead by example type of, how I approach training and my preparation. And I think now I have an opportunity as well to, as we go into a major tournament with some younger players, to hopefully be able to share some of my previous experiences and help some of those other younger, newer players. But we also have a number of players that experienced the World Cup last year, so it's not their first major tournament. So I think we have a really good blend and mix of some veterans and some younger players, and even some younger players who are kind of now having some of that experience under their belt. So I think we've got a really good group here right now, that we've all learned from the past, from players that I've played with, that players that have come through this program, obviously, that have been great leaders on this team, and their influence is still felt. So I think that for us is how we progress and move forward as a group.
Trin, Alyssa?
I don't talk about you. Yeah, I think what she said, she knows how she leads, and she's not going to be the loudest one on the field, that's for sure. But yeah, she's like my mom here. But yeah, she's great. She's always leading by example. She leads in action, and she always steps up in the best moments. So yeah, she's a great leader, and I look up to her a lot. That's all you're getting.
Sylvia Bullock, go ahead.
Hello, Sylvia here. This question is for both of you. Can you speak a bit to the Gold Cup W in terms of how it has, or how you feel it has prepared you for this tournament, and what advantages it may give you? Thank you.
Yeah, I think the best experience from the Gold Cup was just being able to fully replicate what a match calendar will look like. I think it's almost the exact same with playing every third day. So I think that for us, having that experience as a group to kind of get that rhythm under our belts was very, very helpful, obviously, and against high quality opponents at the same time. Every game was challenging, every game was hard, and then it's that quick mental, physical turnaround to prepare for a new opponent. I think that was the biggest benefit of playing a Gold Cup in an Olympic year.
Lakin Lichtman. Go ahead, Lakin.
Thanks, Aaron. Question for each of you. First, Alyssa, as a leader on this team, how do you think that Lindsay has grown into her role as captain over the past year, and how maybe has she grown in confidence in this role since the World Cup specifically? And then Trinity, what is it like having Crystal in the forward group now? Obviously, you've been playing with her on the national team for a while, but not at the same position until recently. So I'm wondering, what does she specifically bring to the forwards that maybe those on the outside wouldn't know or see?
Yeah, I think with Lindsay, I think she's certainly growing into a great leader on this team. I think it's something that she's put a lot of time into, and she's really tried to focus on being that captain and that leader for this team. I think it takes a lot. It's a unique situation to be a captain of the national team, specifically the U.S. national team. I think it's a lot of times so much more than just the soccer aspect of it. And I think, having her and watching her kind of grow into this and become, I think, more comfortable in the role. You can see that on the field, off the field. And I think that having the World Cup experience as a captain is only going to make now going into the Olympics her that much stronger as a leader and a captain of this team.
And as for Crystal, another great leader for me. And now that she is in the forward line, I think what she brings, she's been on this national team for so long, and she's been a leader on this team for so long, but she's so open-minded and willing to learn in all areas, which I think the outsiders don't see as much. So to put that into perspective, but also I think coming from the back line and even playing midfield at her club, you get the perspective from those positions that she's played. So we have a lot of conversations as forwards, but also she has that point of view as a defender as well. So I'm also able to learn off of that and base my movements and runs off of kind of how she's tried to defend us in the league in the past. So I think that's an interesting take for sure.
All right, let's go with Andrew Jones.
Thanks as always, Aaron. First for you, Trinity. You mentioned Alyssa being sort of like a motherly figure towards you. Can you talk about being able to score that goal past her with the Spirit against the Red Stars this season? You know, you had fun talks with her about that, as well as your favorite goal scoring celebration that you've had this season, you or Crocs, whatever celebration you've had. And Alyssa, just for you, you mentioned to Nancy about how the '99 World Cup, we were able to see the opening game at the Meadowlands. Can you talk about were you able to see the final when it happened 25 years ago? For you, Trinity, first.
We don't need to pull NWSL.
I don't think I have one, honestly, because I try to change it up as much as possible, keep people on their toes. But I kind of copy and paste from TikTok, I can't lie. So, moving on.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a full circle moment, I guess. I was at the Meadowlands, like you said, in '99, and now being at this game back in New York or New Jersey for the 25th anniversary of it with that team that I watched on the field is honestly kind of a surreal moment. And something that as the 11-year-old kid watching that game would probably not believe you if you told me 25 years later where I'd be hanging out with that team. But I think, yeah, I definitely watched the final. I was out in, it was over the summer, so I was not at the game. Obviously, the game was out in Pasadena, but I was, I think, at a local restaurant watching it on like the TV screen in the background while we were out to dinner or something. But we watched the shootout and watched the whole game for sure.
Very cool. Leslie Ryder, go ahead.
Hi guys, I have a question for Alyssa. It's your first time getting together with the new group. What are your impressions so far, and how does it feel to reunite with some familiar faces on that backline?
Yeah, it feels really good to get back into camp. Obviously disappointed not to have been here a few weeks ago with a little injury, but feeling really good to be back in. I think, you know, I even said to a couple people the other day, I just feel like an energy shift. I just feel like a joy and excitement of from the group, and you know, I think that's really exciting to come back into after being gone from it for a camp. And yeah, to get back in behind, you know, T and Nay and those guys, obviously, and everybody else. But yeah, it's good. It's been good to be back on the field and just be kind of just back around the group.
Thanks.
Becky Farmer, go ahead.
Thanks, Hi. This is for Alyssa. Piggybacking off of that, what have you seen about Naomi that makes her so strong in the central line? And this is the first major tournament that you guys are going to have without Becky in a long time. How have you seen Nay step up and kind of take over some of those responsibilities that Becky might have had on the back line?
Yeah, I think Nay is just, you know, she's a player that plays like well beyond her years. I think sometimes I forget how young she is with just her maturity and her calmness on the field, and just I think the way she reads the game, the way she approaches the game. You know, she's just kind of that steady player that we need in the back. I think that's something that Becky was always obviously very good at. I think one of Becky's biggest strengths was that same quality. So I think to get that from Nay, and I know in talking to Nay, I know she has learned a lot from Becky in the time playing together. So, but yeah, I think Nay just got this, you know, this wisdom beyond her years, and she plays with confidence, and she plays just in a way that makes other people around her feel comfortable and relaxed, and you just know she's going to get the job done.
Seth Berkelman, you're up.
Thanks, Aaron. This one's for Alyssa. Alyssa, over the last year, you've been kind of known for your success in penalty shootouts, not just saving them, but also making them. And so I wonder what you attribute your success scoring penalties to. Is it something that you practice a lot? And I also wonder if you've spoken to Emma at all about whether you might be in the rotation if you end up in a shootout in the Olympics.
No, I think it's something that we as a team, because anytime you're going into a world championship or any kind of tournament for that matter that can end in a penalty shootout in any type, that's something that we as a team put time into training individually and as a group. So obviously I'm part of that in both, you know, shooting and being as a goalkeeper in it. So it's just the preparation the same as everybody else. As far as going forward, I'll leave that to Emma and the decisions that she makes. But no, it's the same focus. We just, obviously it's something that we know is a potential thing that can come up that helps that can help us win and lose games. So every single person on this team is ready and prepared to take the penalty at any given time.
Emma Ruby, go ahead, Emma. Speak of Emma's.
Yeah, I think she took my name, but thanks, Aaron. Nice to see you both. This is for either one of you. Kat Macario has obviously had a long journey back to the national team and is now on her second Olympic team. What has it been like having her back in camp, and what do you anticipate her bringing to the team in this next Olympics?
Want to talk attackers?
Yeah, I can talk. Yeah, I think, yeah, with Kat being injured, me and her didn't get as much time together, but yeah, she's got a great personality. She brings a lot of positivity on the human aspect of it, but on the field, I think it's kind of the same. It's that positivity, it's that light, it's just the drive to be better. And obviously, she's had a road to recovery, and coming back in to make this roster is just admirable. So proud of her for that. But yeah, having her in this environment with the attackers, having her input, her energy has been so good. And yeah, I'm very happy about it. I'm sure the team is as well.
Let's see, we got three more. Jeff Kassouf, go ahead.
Thank you both for doing this. I'm wondering maybe if both of you could take a stab at just the game ahead itself on Saturday. I think Emma said something earlier in the week in an interview about the Mexico result from February, and this maybe being a good measuring stick of how you all have progressed since that. How much do you look at this game and it being the same opponent, obviously under different circumstances, as a way to kind of measure progress from February or from throughout the spring, and have you all talked about that result at all in terms of motivation, even if it is a friendly?
I think something that Emma does really well is not focusing too hard on past games and past failures in a sense. She's done a really good job at keeping us in the present moment and just focusing on us and the things that we need to work on. So yeah, going off that, obviously the result we got against them last time we played wasn't what we wanted, but we learned from that. And yeah, for us right now, it's just focusing on this team right now and where we're at, not thinking about what we did wrong last time. It's what we're building now, and just perfecting that and executing that.
Should be noted that we went on to win that tournament. Yeah. So, last one goes to Bianca. Is it Hillier?
Hillier.
Hillier. Okay. Go ahead,
Hey,
Bianca.
thank you guys for being here. The casual U.S. women's national team or soccer fan in the U.S., might have only seen you guys last play at the Women's World Cup. What can you point to or tell, viewers like that to kind of show them that you're a different team now and, this tournament, could go differently?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of natural anyways. I think just with an Olympics in general, I think it brings a different excitement. It brings a different, it's a whole different vibe than a World Cup. I think for, us now being part of, full Team USA, not just U.S. Soccer in the World Cup, I think that will draw in obviously a lot of viewers as well that may not be as attuned with the soccer side or the national team side. But I think that's awesome. I think that's what the Olympics are all about. I think it's about bringing in new fans, new eyes. And I think for us, it's an opportunity to, we've talked this whole year about, looking towards the future and turning the page and, having this new identity and moving forward. And I think that this is our opportunity to this is the start of that. Obviously, we've put the work in the last few months in this transition period with Twyla and with the coaching staff and with the players. But now with Emma in here and the full new staff and the roster being set, I think now this is the opportunity to officially kind of move in that forward direction. And this is the first tournament for that, and that starts on Saturday with the game against Mexico. And I think we're excited for it. I think it's going to be an exciting tournament. The players, again, you can feel the energy. I think the group is ready. I think the group is hungry to get back on the field, and hopefully that's what fans tuning in are going to get to see.